Happy Life, Happy Me. This is Innovation Gateway Incorporated offers the rich in natural antioxidant product Gusto Powder Vegetable Drink Mix at Toyota Capsule.
We are advocates of preventive health care. So through our BIG Wellness product, we would like to teach people how to become healthy. Kasi everybody says they want to be healthy, diba? But they don't know how. So we created innovative, functional products which are delicious.
Gusto is a powder vegetable juice drink composed of 10 green leafy vegetables with ginger and turmeric, sweetened with stevia na nakakatulong para mas lumakas ang immune system. At dahil meron ito natural added mango flavor, nagiging patok ito sa mga Pilipino in all ages.
We started with Gusto, so syempre siya yung bestseller right now.
Pero maliban sa Gusto Juice, meron ding Biota Capsule ang Big na kung saan nakakatulong ito sa puso at digestion. Kaya naman, mag-Gusto Juice na at Biota Capsule para healthy life, happy me.
All right, we are here now. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Health Revolution, episode number 3. Hello, and we're going to talk about mindfulness. Of course, my co-host, Ma'am Betty, how are you?
Morning sa ating mga ka-revolutionaryo. Today we will talk about mindfulness meditation.
Yeah. And of course, joining us are our special friends or special guests. Okay, tandem ito, Chris and Sunshine, mga mindfulness practitioners and facilitators and coaches.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for making yourselves available. And it is now the first day of July, July 1, 2020. And this is 1 hour of mindfulness. So please, let's get on with the program para hindi masayang because napakaraming pwedeng i-discuss or italakay dito sa mindfulness. Okay, so Chris.
Yes, sir. Hi. So, kamusta po ulit? Ako na naman. Nice to see everyone. Siguro when we touch on mindfulness, it's nice to look at what's happening in society today. Ang dami-daming current events, ang dami nangyayari. Social media is also taking a lot of our time, and it, in a way, hindi natin napapansin, pero we get sucked in, to the images that we see. There's also, an awareness now about mental health, which is very important, especially in these times. But I want to touch on, kasi ngayon, nagkakaroon na tayo ng label about, depressed ako, anxious ako. And sometimes, it's just a term, pero labeling ourselves immediately, parang medyo nagiging unhealthy yun eh. 'Di ba? We've had a lot of natural disasters in the world, like yung wildfires. We recently had Taal, and now COVID, di ba?
Correct.
Even nga ngayon sa COVID, anxiety levels are going up because of, let's say, job security, what will happen. There's tuition coming up in school. And then even yung anxiety, yung anxiety natin not being able to do something or to help others, it adds up eh. Di ba? The new norm, not the new normal, the new norm, calling ourselves depression. Kung masyado na tayong naging busy sa maraming bagay. Minsan nga, wala naman tayong ginagawa, tatawagan tayo ng kaibigan natin, anong ginagawa mo? Ay, busy ako. Which is not. And it, like what Betty always says, ako, for me, busyness is a distraction from godliness or being with God. So yeah, we're busy with a lot of things, and we forget the little details in life, the moment-to-moment experiences, diba? And we forget, most importantly, we forget to take care of ourselves. So this is where mindfulness comes in. It's a very helpful tool. It's not the solution to everything. I want to clear that up. But one of the tools we could use to slow down and take care of ourselves.
Well, Chris,
So,
yeah.
Basic muna, no? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hindi kasi I think sila Chris kasi they're very concerned with how people will react to the situation right now, which we call, well, it's actually not the new normal, it's the new abnormal. But yun na nga, madaming, well, our mind is really a very powerful organ ba, or a powerful system.
Yes.
Subconscious mind actually. So yung medyo pag yung ang mga tao, yung like you say na you know, we do not want to label people kasi it works on the subconscious di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, every pag gumising ka, sabihin mo ay pagod ako, di syempre pagod ka na the whole day kasi you started telling yourself that di ba? So I know your organization or your advocacy is to help people come out of that rut of thinking about the negativities in life. So I hope you and Sunshine can enlighten our audience today on what they can do because like right now palaging sinasabi na madaming depressed, well, if you don't think you are depressed, then how can you become depressed, diba? So we hope that there are more organizations like yours who will support, diba? Support our people to go the right path. Yun. So siguro Raymond will give the floor to Chris and Sunshine to talk about mindfulness.
Yeah, so for the next couple of minutes, not only a couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes or so, they will give us a crash course and also orientation. And if you want to post some questions, pwede nyo pong i-share or post a comment section ng ating Facebook Live dito sa Edge TV Philippines or sa Edge TV Philippines YouTube channel, which is also simultaneously live streaming now. Anything you want to know about mindfulness meditation. So please, ito na yung dalawa ang tandem talaga. Chris and Sunshine. So we will just be in the backstage, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, sige.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So so yun po, diba? It's important for us to take care of ourselves, and mindfulness is a good tool. This makes us um, be more kind to ourselves, and be able to process things that, whereas before talagang we try to deflect, right, Sunshine?
That's right. This is also a time like this pandemic. Um, we're like stuck at home and we're left with our own minds to deal with and our thoughts to manage. This aside from managing our relationships with our families, managing our relationships, or even manage our work. Um, it's a good time to take a pause and just train ourselves again, like relearn, being aware of ourselves again, and so we can understand what we're feeling or what we're thinking. Maybe perhaps when we do this, we can have a better perspective of things and manage the different aspects of our health as well. When we say yung health natin, it's not only the physical but also the mental, emotional, um, social, right?
Spiritual, I would add to that
Spiritual as
too.
well, yes.
Spiritual.
So those things that we have to make sure that have a checklist na okay ba tayo dito sa mga aspects of health natin. And this is where this is why we practice mindfulness and why we share mindfulness with the community. So let's start with introducing what mindfulness is.
Go ahead, Sunshine.
Okay.
Do you need the slide now?
Sure. Go ahead. So it would be nice to let's start with the definition. Let's share the definition of mindfulness. It's been a big word actually for the past few years already, but lalo na ngayon because globally we're all affected. Thus, nag-rise naman yung mga resources natin, which is very good for us. So mindfulness is defined as a quality of awareness. It arises when we practice paying attention. So it's an intentional way of paying attention to an experience with curiosity, non-striving, and non-judging attitude. So it might seem like it's a big definition, but simply put, so we have an intention to pay attention. We have the intention to pay attention. We know what like paying attention is, right? We've been hearing that in school since we were kids. We went to school and we hear that a lot from our teachers or even our parents. But it's a kind of attention that you give to a present experience. Kung ano yung meron, whatever it is. Now, it's not always easy to do that, especially when we have a difficult experience, which is, for example, the COVID. So, mindfulness. When we have mindfulness, we put in some attitude of non-judging, being curious, and non-striving. So, is it okay? I'll just himayin ko lang yung mga ito para mas clear. So, when we are curious, ano-ano ba yung mga things na curious tayo? We have this innately, especially when we were babies, right? But sobrang dami na nating alam, natutunan natin. We have learned so many things that sometimes those things keep us from being curious with things. So having that curiosity again, like having a sense of curiosity again to explore and experience a present moment experience might just, allow us to see something or learn something. Now, non-striving here in the definition, non-striving is setting aside first our wanting to change things or wanting to have a goal or achieve something. Because we are so oriented already to have a goal and to get something out of something, that keeps us also from discovering new things. Kasi masyado na tayong, we have set our mind in looking at something already, which is striving for something. or wanting things to be they are. For example, we have an experience, you want to change things. And yeah, it's very normal for us to want to change things. But with mindfulness, we bring in this non striving attitude and also non judging. Um, we have a tendency to judge things, label things as good or bad. Let's have a sense of what it's like to set these aside, striving and judging, and just allow ourselves to be curious and investigate this experience that we have at the moment. That's the present moment experience that we're talking about in mindfulness.
So Shine, for me, not for me, but to give a better or medyo practical application, di ba? Mindfulness, mindful versus mindful. Diba? It's lessening, learning to parse or isa-isahin lang muna yung mga nasa utak natin. And kumbaga itong mindfulness kasi, isa itong imbitasyon for people, to step out of the box, to try something out new. Diba? Nandun na kasi like with what I mentioned kanina, yung busyness, masyado na tayong nandun sa point na, alam ko na to, alam ko na to, alam ko na to. Pero kumbaga, mindfulness is an invitation to try it, because it's being mindful has been with us actually ever since we were, it's innately with us, diba? So wala pong mali, wala pong tama. That's why non-judging, non-striving, whatever experience occurs, there's no right or wrong. And then when it comes to mindful meditation, there's no goal. Ang ibig sabihin ni Sunshine dyan, hindi porket nagme-meditate, mag-astral tayo, na pagka-meditate natin, okay na kagad tayo. No, it's not. But it's learning to parse and learning to, gather and get insight from the experience of, just quiet.
Right.
Okay, so can we just pause for a while, no? We
Sure.
just have to take a break. Medyo nagcha-choppy na konti, no? Sa yung experience, medyo na, experience. So, okay, we'll just take a break. At mamaya, of course, our special guests will continue on with discussing this mindfulness, meditation. Ang mga day point doon na sinabi, kasama natin si ma'am. Ayan. Before we take a break. Okay, so yung sinabi mo ron about not focusing on not wanting to take it a step further into astral projection, mga ganun din, di ba? Medyo mga spooky things or mga extra natural, no? It's all about reality, di ba? It's staying here at the present, no? Okay, so sige. Let's take a break muna. We'll be back after this quick reminder. Okay, so
ikaw ba ay may problema dahil sa bad bacteria? Mayroong solusyon para sa'yo, huwag mag-alala. Subukan mo na para may good digestion ka. Happy life sa Itin Biota, para laging mas happy ako dyan.
all right, we are back now.
Hi, Sunshine. Parang can I summarize? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, no? Mindfulness, it's actually a conscious effort of the mind to observe the surroundings. Tama? And then, it's also to keep our mind full full of the present. Kung ano yung nangyayari. So you stay focused on what is happening right now. Correct? Okay. Sige. So I would like to hear more from our guests about mindfulness.
Sige po.
Thank you.
Okay. So, so where were we? So mindfulness is also a way of, we can also say that mindfulness is an investigation of our inner and outer experience. We can call this a practice for self-care. Right, Coach Chris?
Yes, yes.
So how can mindfulness be practiced? Mindfulness can be practiced through meditation, which is a formal practice. And perhaps later we can share with you a practice. And it can also be practiced through our daily activities. So it's not like it's not like a really different thing that, oh, I cannot do that, or because mindfulness can be practiced in our day-to-day activities. For some people, they might be uncomfortable with using the word mindfulness, and that's really okay. So maybe perhaps once you practice, if we further explain later, you might even realize that, oh, I'm already doing that. And yes, it is very natural for us already, especially that I can liken this to an experience, for example, when we go to a place where we've never been to. So, for example, a place that we've always wanted to go to. Usually, when we're in a place like that, that is when our senses are really heightened. Like we're so awake and alert and ready to discover new things. And we're so full of curiosity, right? And mindfulness is like that, except that we're not in a resort or in a dream destination. We are in a present experience, and it is a practice that we cultivate, and it's a practice that doesn't have to be perfect. If our teachers have been telling us practice makes perfect, because that's how we have been trained to think. But mindfulness is a practice that doesn't need to be perfect, because we can always begin again. Can you show the next slide? Coach, Chris, you want to add something?
Yeah, and the good thing about mindfulness is that when you're starting, it doesn't need to be 10 minutes, doesn't need to be 15 minutes meditating. You could do it as short as 2 minutes, 3 minutes a day. And that's how you hone the practice.
That's right. So we have this slide, connect slide. Everybody wants to be connected. Everybody wants to be connected to the internet or the Wi-Fi. And of course, we want to know how everybody else is doing. But sometimes we forget to also check in ourselves, like connect with ourselves, like how am I doing? How am I really feeling? And mindfulness is a practice that allows us to connect with ourselves without judging. This is where the non-judging attitude comes in. Like really, what is here?
It doesn't need, when we're checking into ourselves, it doesn't mean that we always have to be happy. Sometimes when we check, we are mad, we are angry, we are sad, and nothing's wrong with that. That's a natural course of emotions. And to take one out is actually not, it takes out the humanity if you're saying I just need to be happy. No, there needs to be an acceptance to how you are feeling, and that's where actually mindfulness really focuses on, is on the emotions of people.
Yeah, thank you. So we liked emotions. With what's going on, I just connect this to what's going on right now. So we have like a mix of emotions, probably all the unpleasant emotions we have already experienced. So mindfulness is a practice of investigating what is here. What can I learn from this? Or what is good out of this, or what is the good in this, whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's not easy to do that, but it is a practice, right, Coach Chris?
Yes.
And um, right now, the feelings that have been um, repeatedly shared with us by some kids who have workshops with us, like boredom, stress, confused. These are very normal feelings, and they also experience this with their families. And so we invite families to practice mindfulness so that they can explore together, and they'll be able to manage their emotions and their thoughts in this situation. I think what is the next slide is, so yeah, mindfulness can be practiced through meditation. Um, if you want, we can do one right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we'll just share this first. So this is a drawing shared to me by my student many years ago, and he was having a hard time in the classroom, and because we were running out of time, I had to talk to him and ask him, okay, if you want, would you like to write about your experience right now? And he said, and then he nodded and he wrote this one. My brain is so full right now, I can't think anymore. So imagine this, a 9-year-old kid drew this image, brain is full, it's full of TV shows, school, thoughts, 54 gig, 50 gig, full memory.
Yeah, and I think what happened there was a quiz, right? And then he just went blank, right?
Yeah.
Sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, we were having a test and he couldn't keep up. And yeah, of course, when you're pressured, you're stressed. When you're pressured, it's difficult for our mind to be clear. And we can only imagine what our brains or our minds are like right now. There's so many things that we're thinking about. And so it's good to be aware of the quality of our thoughts. What are the repetitive thoughts, if there are any? It's good to check in. What are the thoughts that clutter in my head right now? So that we can really, when we pause like this, it's a way of already taking care of ourselves. It's not rocket science, right? But it's just like sitting down and just checking in.
Yeah.
What are
Remember the when our parents used to say that, oh, when we're stressed or kunyari mainit ulo natin, 'di ba? Sasabihin ng parents natin, why don't you take a breather? Hinga ka muna diyan. Kahit doktor, 'di ba? When we get an injection for vaccine, 'di ba? Nasa-stress tayo ng bata tayo. And then what does the doctor say? Breathe, just breathe. And it's not rocket science. There's a basis for that, and it's a practical application to slowing ourselves out. And so maybe we could start with that right now.
Yes.
Sunshine?
So when our brain is full, our brains are like really tense. So it's not only the brain that's physically tense, but also our body. So I'd like to invite you, if we can take a moment right now to just pause. So this can be like a breathing practice. You can call it a breathing practice exercise. You can call it meditation. So let's just pause for a moment here. Just allow everything to settle, the thoughts, perhaps the concepts, words we heard. Just allow them to just settle in as we sit here in the space. So noticing yourself sitting here, wherever you are, Perhaps noticing your feet resting on the floor. Perhaps noticing how your back is straight or curved. Just sensing how you are supported by the chair. And for a moment, just allow your hands to just let go of whatever it is that you're holding and just allow them to rest here on your lap, wherever you're comfortable with. And sensing if you're ready to close your eyes. So closing the eyes allows us to tune into our senses inside, what we're experiencing inside. And also allowing the back to be straight helps us with our concentration and gives us a sense of openness to receive perhaps oxygen that we're taking in. So inhaling and exhaling. So there's really no special way of breathing here. Just breathe the natural way that you breathe. Just allow yourself to just settle in this space. Just for a few moments, what it's like to just be here. Be with whatever is here without having to change it. But if you sense that you want to change a situation right now, just be aware of that. Acknowledge that thought. And come back to the breath. Just sensing your breath, breathing in and slowly breathing out. So if you're comfortable breathing in through your nose or breathing out through your nose, go ahead. You can also breathe out through your mouth if you're comfortable with that. And just pausing here. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So that is, I don't know how long was that, but that is just one practice, one exercise to just pause and just breathe. Just come back to yourself. Not get carried away by thoughts. We need to be aware of where our thoughts carry us. Okay, so if I think we have a slide that shows. Is it okay if we can see the next slide?
Okay, hold on.
But perhaps while waiting, we can ask Mom Betty, how was your experience when you did that? It was just a short practice, short exercise, just taking a moment to breathe.
It was actually very relaxing and actually boses mo lang sunshine eh, nakaka-relax at nakakatanggal ng stress. Okay.
Keep
Yeah, it's well, I really like to believe na we just forget everything for a few minutes, di ba? Or we concentrate on something we want to solve in that few minutes. So depende kung what we want to achieve, right? Because as I know and as you know, the mind is a very powerful organ which which controls our every action, our emotions, lahat na siya. Ayun, so yan, ano bang picture na yan? Bakit?
So that is the picture of the brain. So when we're stressed, there's tension. There co-constrict talaga yung brain. And in fact, Yale Stress Center, they have a stress center. Can you imagine? Yale University, they discovered that the brain shrinks like by size at a certain percentage when we are stressed. So continuous, whatever we experience, they make those little changes in the brain that we're not actually aware of. So what we're doing here, when we take a breath, when we just pause, we don't have to call it meditation if you're not comfortable. But just taking that moment to just pause and take care of ourselves, take a breath, is to also work with the mind. Like, it's not like we're helpless. Now our thoughts, our mind is like this, but we cannot do anything about it. It means that we can do something. We can do something. We can take care of ourselves, even when our minds are really all over the place. Because what we just did, the exercise, when you just take a breath, even the conscious slowing down the breath, it activates a relaxation response in the nervous system, the central nervous system. So we're not even aware of that, but that's what happens inside us. So can you imagine, like, we have that power to be able to at least regulate ourselves, manage ourselves. And there has been a lot of research that shows what other organs benefit from this. So when we activate the relaxation response, the digestive system, it's also regulated in the other systems in the body. It's a very simple practice that we share with the kids. 4-year-old kids, when they do this, then we tell them, do you know what happens inside the brain? So we actually demonstrate, like, it actually relaxes. And
they like to see images like that.
It actually relaxes. And when we relax, the whole body, all the muscles relax. And when we relax, what happens to us? Don't we feel greater? Don't we feel a bit better than what we felt earlier?
Yeah.
And this is also inviting ourselves to be calm and collect ourselves again and start again.
We should accept the emotion.
Can you repeat?
Yes.
Fluctuations na po ng signal. So, please hold on to the thought. We'll just have to take a break. A quick break. Then, siguro, pwede nyo na ibigay yung question. Then, before they answer, we can take a break muna. Can you repeat what you said, ma'am? Hopefully, walang fluctuation. Yeah.
Hopefully, hindi naman. And then, I was just commenting na, yung the first thing that is most important is to be able to accept. Parang acceptance of the emotion, acceptance of the problem,
situation.
So that, acceptance of the situation, para, diba, the mind can do its work. The mind can now lessen the stress. The mind can help you solve your problem. So that's, I think, the very first step in the mindfulness. Then never mind if you want to call it meditation or what, but it's more as yung sa opening natin, diba? It's a conscious effort talaga. It's a conscious effort to realize what is happening. And then may I add lang din, on the spiritual side, I always tell people na, God will not give you anything that you cannot solve. That's really very true. All the problems, all problems have a solution, diba? Somebody was also don't have a problem. Kaya siya naging solution dahil may problema in the first place. So since God is good to us, He will give us, so we should just start believing that whatever God gives us, there's a lesson in the experience that we can draw from, but He will really give us something that we can always solve in the end, Tama? Yan.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we need a short break.
Sige, shout out mo tayo kay Polnar, kay Tops, kay Balvin, nasa Canada naman. Some other friends who are watching us. So we'll be back. Don't go away, guys.
Kung puso ang problema, break the bad habits. Move on na para sa healthy heart. It's a big 5-0. Tara na, let's all be fit. Mega healthy sa omega-9 6-3 para sa heart nutrient deficiency. Sa Big 5-0, strong ang heart and body. Sa Big 5-0. Nakamove on ka na't kumanda? Sa Big 5-0, puso mo ay alagang-alaga.
Anak, anong gusto mong juice?
Ang gusto ko, veggie juice kasi gusto juice, gusto ng lahat. Ang veggie juice na pampasigla ng katawan. Nasa gusto na ang lahat. May gulay na, may prutas pa. Ito na ang sustansya. Vitamin ay kumpleto. Ikaw ma, gusto mo?
Uminom na ng isang baso ng sustansya. Kompletong sigla para sa ating pamilya. Gusto Veggie Juice, your yummy veggie drink. No approved therapeutic claims.
All right, we are back. So I would like to ask lang, no, what's the difference between yung yoga meditation and mindfulness? Kasi parang, di ba, kasi I tried this, ano, parang mga yoga meditation. And ngayon naman kasi, general, parang popular na siya na practice. Even Christians do that. Kasi it's very, it's very helpful. It relaxes us. It's also in the Bible naman. It was Jesus who taught us that everything. The battlefield is in the mind. Kaya nga, di ba? Nandito eh. So, hindi naman sa labas. It's only, yung expression na lang eh. What's ever happening, ito na yung outcome of what is happening in the mind. Kaya nga, napaka-importante. So, ano po ba yung, pagkakaiba niyan? Is it the same ba yan? O ano ba yun? So, with yoga meditation and mindfulness.
Yeah, in a way, it's also considered meditation because it's what you consider a movement meditation. There is also, with mindfulness, there is also a gentler movement meditation, which is as simple as just walking, being mindful of each step, being mindful of the things you see, using your senses. With yoga meditation, yes, it does promote, concentration also, but it's more focused towards, the movement. You wanted to add to that, Sunshine?
And also yung may breathing yan, di ba?
Yes. I think there are also different kinds of yoga. There are different yoga practices also. But yeah, yoga is a form of movement meditation, and iba rin naman yung training. When you also practice yoga or we also do movement meditation or mindful movement, iba rin yung skills na tinitrain natin. Like, for example, like when we stay with a pose, it's also like relating to our experience, like staying with an experience, or also shifting. When we shift the pose, that's also like making changes with our situation, or those are the things that we develop when we do the movement in mindfulness.
Yung mindfulness,
mindful meditation, hindi lang nakaupo. Kumbaga, pwede may konting action.
Yes.
Kasi di ba, I was thinking na, parang nakaupo ka lang ganyan, steady ka na, only your mind is, doing everything. So, pero palang mindful meditation, walk. Pag-bike kaya meron.
Sorry?
Pwede rin, actually. Yun yung mga bicycle, driving, washing dishes, doing everyday things. That's what you call open awareness, Raymond. But when you're looking at like how we're sharing the practice, we're starting with the breath. That's inner awareness. Kumbaga. But yeah, when you get used to it, when you get, when you're in the moment, you want to experience that, that's where the practice opens up. It widens.
Widens your awareness.
So yung yung advocates ng mindfulness of mindfulness, not just the meditation part. Yes. Yung mga advocates na movement ng mindfulness, can we say na they are the younger generation, yung mga mas bata? Kasi pag mas matanda, siyempre, yoga sila di ba? Ah, and
Yeah.
ano kasi ano siya well by just understanding the concept. Kasi ano siya short, 'di ba? A few minutes lang which will which the younger generation they like it kasi it's short lang. And then in a span of seconds you are already able to draw out whatever you want to achieve during those few seconds. Tama? So can I
Yes.
assume na most of yung mga sumasali sa inyo are the younger generation?
Not really, ma'am. It's just that there was an emergence recently of this practice. Kasi if you look at the roots of mindfulness, it goes back to yung mga Zen meditation to Buddha, where you just sit and be quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very old
Parang
practice.
mga hermits, no?
Yes,
Mga
like
monks, di ba? Mga hermits, mga monks.
Buddhism,
yeah,
medyo
yeah,
root at
Ma'am Betty.
Mhm.
Yeah,
the monks.
like when you look at the mystics, the monks, the mystics, they isolate themselves, and that's their communion with God, and they are just quiet, and that in
Yes.
itself is you know practice of mindfulness, being mindful that they're in the presence of God. And I like what you said kanina, when you mix spirituality with the practice. I know there's a difference, pero ako, I like to mix it up. Uh, in a way, said it starts with acceptance. There might be a problem. It can be as little as there might be a problem, and that's where we try and settle down. I started doing mindfulness because there's this saying where hardships aren't to break you, but it's meant to bend you towards your higher power or your God. So that got me started into learning more about the practice, and in practicing, in doing a lot of stuff, having mentors. What's the original language of God? It's actually silence, and that comes across the interconnectedness with some other religions, Buddhism. Just being quiet.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Parang, yeah, silence is the best language sometimes.
Yes. Yes, even in prayer. Minsan, wala na tayong madasal. Tapos
Yeah.
parang
Pero
nahihiya tayo na,
yung sa natin, sa mindfulness, um, help people sleep well kasi I always advocate that healthy people become healthy if you can do three things, which is to sleep well, to eat well, and to cook well. Okay. So, pero madaming tao kasi nagkakaroon ng mental problem. It's because they cannot sleep well. So in mindfulness, how do you teach people to sleep better?
Okay, so we don't teach them how to sleep better, but we through the exercise that we give, for example, the meditations or the movements and the other exercises, it gives them a sense of calm, and they bring it with them when they go to bed. So, for example, there's a meditation like the body scan, wherein like you focus on the different parts of the body, and you just scan your whole body from the heads of your toe, from the head of the from the from the tip of your toe to the top of your head. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so if you scan that, and sometimes they actually fall asleep when they practice that. And we've had students, yeah, that's the byproduct. We've had students who they come to our club and then they say, I cannot sleep. I only have 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. And when we teach them the practice, then they come back to us and then they tell us, I use this to sleep, and that's okay because it actually relaxes the whole body. And when you're relaxed, you actually let go. And going to bed or sleeping is like also letting go. That's a
yeah, so
practice of letting go. You let go.
it's a byproduct actually. But then, like me, I usually, when I started, I really would fall asleep every time, regardless what kind of meditation. But then when I continuously practice, I I become more aware of my body parts. I become more aware of my gratitude. So right now, hindi ko na kailangan yung matulog na hindi na ako naantok, kumbaga. But the awareness heightens. So
So you have more, parang you have more control na of yourself.
yes,
If you want to be
yes,
awake, you have to
yes,
fall asleep.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Kasi it's due to the practice, due to the continuous practice.
Yes. And those like sleepiness, they're considered like obstacles. Any meditator, even those who are experts, they experience that. It's very normal. So mindfulness helps us to be kinder to ourselves. We don't punish ourselves. Kunyari, inantok ako, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm such a bad person or I'm such a failure. And that's our tendency, right? To criticize ourselves. Like the inner critic within us is so strong. The voice is so loud. But yeah, it's a practice of being kind to ourselves. Like, just staying here. This is the experience, and just see what it's like to be here first. So, yung practice ng mindfulness, in-increase yung tolerance natin to be with the situation. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable or the discomfort. And that's where, like, for example, the yoga practice, like being comfortable in a pose first and then shifting to another pose. So that's what we're also building, the skill.
So very important yung acceptance and never blame yourself, never be hard on yourself, di ba? You don't be, talagang lang, you have to, nakita ko yung page na yung nag-share, mindful.ph, nakita ko yung chillax and mindfulness. So kailangan talaga, combination. Pero ang pinaka-root niyan, syempre, pinaka-importante sa lahat, love yourself muna. Accept yourself. Don't blame yourself. No, okay.
Yeah,
So,
if you fall asleep, it's okay.
importante, no? If you fall asleep while doing that meditation, it's okay, no?
Yeah,
Right.
maybe it's your body telling you you need to rest, you know?
So this can this also be something that can help, especially if kids are being always, bullied or blamed at by parents or elders or di ba? May mga ganyan. Ikaw talaga, ganyan, ha? Can this be helpful? So can you tell us about yung ginagawa nyo? I think you have this also in your advocacy, mga kids na, no? You're
Yes.
facilitating and helping kids with this.
Yeah.
Pero Raymond, I think we'll show first pala yung video that we prepared kasi we're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about sleep, talking about sleep. We found a video which is very interesting kasi it teaches people na you should sleep on your left side. Tama? You teach on your left side. May position daw yan. May position.
Okay.
Tapos
Kaya hindi ko na siya magagawa. Hindi na ako
Di mo
pwede
magawa.
mag-left side. Opo. Kasi meron akong dito eh. Maybe metal plate. So, hindi pa nakabalik yung muscles.
Dapat nakaupo na lang. Kahiga.
Right side muna. For now lang, hanggang nagpapagaling pa. Sige, we will continue with that, with segue tayo sa ginagawa sa mga kids. No? Shoutout nga pala kay Dennis C, who's also watching, si Tops. Si Dennis C, he's the new parody king ng Pilipinas. Panoorin niyo yung kanyang mga YouTube videos. Okay, so we will be taking a break. Tapos i-play din natin yung sinasabi ni ma'am. Okay? Let's
And we come up to that interesting topic, yung sa bullying. That's a very, very
Okay.
Kalidad ng Berry Gluta sa katatapos pa lang na 3rd Outstanding Men and Women of the Year Philippines 2019. Sa galinga ng Berry Gluta sa beauty and wellness industry, hinirang ito bilang Philippines Brand of the Year.
Congratulations to Berry Gluta, one of the awardee of the Philippine Outstanding Brand of the Year.
This is Innovations Gateway. We'll be launching the first and only hexagonal and berry-coated gluta tablet in the Philippines, which is Berry Gluta.
Ang Berry Gluta ay powered ng 5-in-1 skincare formulation.
It is composed of glutathione with rose petal extract, which is a Japanese patent ingredient, plus acai berry, and then vitamin C and inulin as its prebiotics.
Ang Berry Gluta ay malapit ng mabili sa leading drugstores nationwide.
Berry Gluta. Lutang ang iyong dagdag.
Mahalagang paalaala, ang Berry Gluta ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Hello, we are back. We are back. Ayan.
Ayan.
Hello, guys.
Ayan.
So,
tanong mo, Raymond, on bullying.
Oo, yung ginagawa nila sa, kasi ngayon, maraming bata talaga, hindi lang bullied sa school, mas madalas din sa bahay. Even the parents unknowingly na binubully yung hindi lang binubully, nililimit yung mindset. Okay, so how do you tackle them? And ano sa tingin niyo yung, yung effective ba itong ginagawa ninyo sa mga bata na to?
Okay. Yes, we have kids who join us and then they tell us na stressors nila bullying sa school, yung mga stressors sila sa school. And for one, we tell them there are some things around us that we cannot control, like even behavior of other people, we cannot control. But what we can do is we can learn how to strengthen our inner resources, like manage your emotion or control even your own anger. Because I'm sure when you're bullied, when you have that experience, you feel anger inside you, and they agree to that. So we give them the tools. We help them develop these tools on how they can manage their own emotions and not. And also, siguro, when they get to practice mindfulness, they become calm, and they also grow their inner resources, like they have a sense of love for themselves, like they see good things in themselves, and that makes them, feel better. They become calmer kids. And I think when you're calm, you're able to connect or relate better to others. So parang nag-ripple yung effect. You can, better relate with your siblings. You can better relate with your family and for your schoolmates. Now, so that's what we teach the kids. There are some things we cannot control. And I wish we can also share the practice with them. But maybe we cannot teach them yet, but maybe when you practice, when you're kind, when you become kind, when you're calm, diba? You become kinder to yourself. So that reflects in how you relate with others. And the others around you can pick that up. And and then everybody else becomes calm or kind. So
like when it comes to our club, yun nga, may mga nagsasabi, even teachers nagsusumbong sila sa akin na my teacher made me cry, ganyan. And the group dynamic that we do, parang choppy yata ako. Anyways, we do a group processing. We do a group processing where, we create this safe space. And with that compassion that they learn from, like of course, it comes from us. We have to be empathetic with the practice. We have to be compassionate. And when we open up that group to a safe space, they see that, oh yeah, I'm not different. I'm no different from other kids. Kasi everyone experiences bullying, whatever the degree.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they get that strength. I'm not alone. Then the acceptance again. The acceptance comes. Okay, I'm not alone. Then one of the strengths they pick that, hey, this group of people, my group mates or my job mates, they understand. You know, I will never walk alone. Kumbaga, those are the things that pick up because of the compassion that we share, that everything is safe. It's so, nga na, they share things na, wow, ganun pala. And because they're opening up to the kids and to us, they're they heal.
Well, actually, that's
Nako,
very
Chris.
applicable sa bahay, di ba? The house should be something like that, eh. So,
Yeah.
Emma, as you were saying, actually, we are running out of time, pero okay lang, no? We have to wrap up with a good, kasi this is one of the
They
most
will have Chris
important.
on another show talking about bullying naman.
Oh, yeah. Pero
Di ba?
mindfulness pa rin yung kanilang approach. And it's more of,
Yes.
not only mindfulness, in practice, parang in a group setting na ito, eh, yung sinishare mo what you have, di ba? It's
Yes.
also the same in ministry, it's all the same in charity. You cannot share what you do not have. Di ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I
And
may share, we also teach them the practice of sending loving kindness or sending friendly wishes to other people. But of course, they also send it to themselves first. Yeah.
Parang
that
charity begins at
forgiveness.
home.
That's true.
Okay,
The
so
whole,
thank you
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much. Nako, sayang, no? We're out of time. Buti na lang, di tayo nasa TV. Kundi kinat na tayo. Thank you very much, Chris and Sunshine, for joining us this morning and giving our viewers a good lunch. Hopefully, everybody gets a good digestion. And thank you, Raymond, for always being there with us.
Thank
So
you.
we'll see
Welcome.
you
It's always an honor. We're part
we'll
of this.
see you
We're all in this
Wednesday.
revolution. Yes, every Wednesday. And then, by the way, if they want to get in touch with you, you have a website or a Facebook page. Papa, no? Kayo rin ba yun sa mindful.ph?
Yes.
Facebook.
Go ahead, Sunshine.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you can.
mindful.ph. They can get in touch with that. Search on Facebook, meron yan. Mindful.ph.
Yes. So we'll be having a workshop for adults too.
Sige. So we hope we'll see you again, Chris and Sunshine.
Thank you.
And of course, Raymond. So everybody,
Thank you.
Thank you to
very
all.
much.
And we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Thank you, guys. We also have our Facebook, healthrevolution.ph, and also My Big Ink. Okay, don't forget My Big Ink. So God bless you all. For now, thank you.